Hi, everybody. I wanted to share my journey through widowhood. It was almost 6 years ago when I held my husband in my arms as he took his final breath. And at 31 years old, I became a widow. I had no clue how to handle grief, how to handle the death of someone that close to me. And it sent me into some might call it widow's fog, where I was kind of in this numb shock, like nothing really made sense at that point in my life. However, there was one thing that totally made sense to me, and it was that I had 3 amazing children. And this is a picture of approximately how old they were at that time. They're a little bit younger in this picture. But they were 10, 8, and 5 years old at the time, and I knew that I had a choice. I could choose to just stay numb and in shock, or I could choose to live. And I had 3 very, very important reasons why I needed to lean in and I needed to choose to live. And so I made that commitment. I would take a year to just heal, to just figure out who I wanted to be when I grew up, and to be there for my children. It was shortly after I made that commitment, in the only box I felt compelled to go through in my garage, I found a poem that I didn't even realize that my husband had. And it's called One Day at a Time. I don't know if you can read that. But it says, "Help me believe in what I could be and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb, Lord. For my sake, teach me to take one day at a time." And I don't know how well you can see. It's really reflective, and I don't know, the lighting probably isn't that great. It's a man walking up the stairs into the clouds. And it does one day at a time really stuck in my brain, and it became my mantra. I had no idea what I would be doing in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, but I knew I was going to get up the next day, and I was going to breathe in and out all day, and I was going to send my kids to school, and I was going to work or go to school or do something to develop myself. And then I was going to get up and do it again the next day. And it was while I was on this journey through widowhood, trying to figure out what in the world this thing called grief was, that I discovered a group called the Modern Widows Club. And I am forever grateful that I found this incredible group of widow mentors who had been there, and they knew what it felt like to not even really be able to breathe, because we hold grief in our lungs. And when you feel like the wind has been knocked out of you after a major loss, it's because it has. And I was able to get connected with these amazing women who knew what I was talking about when we talked about the challenges of widowhood. And we could connect on a level that was hard to do with people who hadn't been through a similar experience. And since then, I've made it my mission to study grief and the grieving process, how we grow, how we connect, and how we can make it easier so it doesn't have to be so hard. And one of the biggest things that I'm learning is that community is such an important part of how we heal and how we grow. I am forever grateful for Modern Widows Club and for this community of amazing widows. I had the opportunity to meet the founder of Modern Widows Club, Carolyn Moore, just last week, and she shared with me her vision of all of the chapters she wants to open and all of the things she wants to do to help inspire and lift widows, as well as empower them to serve and give back to their communities. It gives me chills to imagine an army of women who've been through such an amazing, life-transforming, life-strengthening event, coming together to lift one another and to lift those around us. And that's what we're creating with Modern Widows Club. So you have the opportunity to share and contribute if you feel so inclined to helping us make this vision happen. Otherwise, I just hope that you learn to lean into life and choose to live no matter what circumstances you face. I wish you the best. Thank you. Bye.